Ready to go? Good morning, everyone. I'm Robert. I'm here at Glen Burnie, Maryland. We're here at the Dice Masters Nationals. We have a kind of a interesting match going on right now between Shawn and Eli. He's the two-time regional champion against Jimmy O'Brien from WizKids Business Association. And they're here just to play a friendly match right here of Dice Masters. They're starting out. Just to go over a little bit of the teams, Shawn is fielding a team with a magic missile and a distraction basic action. And he's got a mix of different cards in there from the Yu-Gi-Oh set and from the ABX and X-Men sets. You can see he has PXG, Professor X for ramp, and he's also got a couple of Hulk and Gabi and Black Widow as major ones. Jimmy, you can see he has Black Widow, Psylocke, Gabi, a lot of the standard meta you see there. So they just started off. Shawn's rolling. He's got one back for energy and three, kind of contemplating what he wants to do here. He'll re-roll that. Very good roll right there. Very good roll for a PXG setup. Halfling Thief comes out. That's from the D&D set, so that Halfling Thief is going to be a very interesting character bringing on right here. Does some interesting things. We'll see what Jimmy does. He already fielded, or he already bought the Black Widow and has fielded a sidekick. And his roll right here, saving back for... He's got a couple options. Maybe trying to do an aggressive stance. Does he pull out a Gabi? Does he try to go keep ramp? You can also see, too, that both players have Jinzo, which is the Trap Destroyer, a very, let's say, well-used card around here as far as suppressing. So, let's see, he bought Jinzo, so... And that's a little trick with the Blue Eyes Global. You go ahead and you KO your sidekick, and you reduce the cost of purchasing a character by 2. Okay, here's Shawn now. He comes out using his ramp roll. Not too bad. A couple masks there for a ramp, and he's got a sidekick. See what he does here. Now that Jinzo's coming out, that's going to put a little bit of a threat to Shawn with regards to probably suppressing any globals he can use, because it really does shut down players' ability to be very flexible, especially in a team that relies on the Professor global. Okay, looks like he went ahead and fielded a sidekick. And he uses the same Blue Eyes. And then the Red Dragon. So whenever he uses that bolt, goes ahead and does 1 damage, and he's allowed to buy for less than the Millennium. I think it's Millennium Puzzle is what he has there, which is another good card that suppresses any ability of the opponent. Let's see what Jimmy does right here. It's like both are set up to control. Oh, he got Jinzo out of the bag, so let's see what happens here. Oh, he rolled him. That's going to put a big damper on Shawn right now, unless he can do something to get rid of Jinzo. So a lot of the noise you hear in the background is they're just starting the Nationals. Everyone's registering in. It's now about 9:45 here on the East Coast. Okay, well, let's see what Jimmy's going to do. You know he's going to put Jinzo in the field. There he goes. He'll keep those 2 back for ramp. Decisions. And there we go, Black Widow. That'll be the second Black Widow that he has purchased. He has 1 in the bag right now. So Shawn does a move. He does take the 2 life because the Jinzo shut down every time he wants to do a global. And at this stage in the game, it's a good idea. He's got plenty of life, and you don't want to be shut down with ramp right now. So he goes ahead and he takes 6 hit, but look at all the sidekicks he's going to be rolling. So Now, if he can get Millennial Puzzle out, that would be a real big shutdown. And then Halfling Thief that does damage. He has to keep. Jimmy have to keep characters in his bag. Now, you saw Shawn brought that clear die there. He had to take a hit because he only could pull 3 dice out of the bag, so he had to take 1 live hit, but he has 1 generic energy. So that dice is a mnemonic, if you will, to remind you that I've got an extra energy there. And it's a good practice for you players out there, have a 6-sided die or something just to keep track of things like that. Because many times in the heat of your thinking what you're going to do, you forget you have that extra generic energy to spend. So, pretty good roll for Shawn here. A lot of PXG, but right now he's kind of suppressed by Jinzo. But now that Millennial Puzzle's coming out and the Halfling Thief coming out. So, and he also has the opportunity to buy a pretty good amount of characters here. So. Now the options, Shawn does have the Hulk, Green Goliath out there. He does have a Jinzo as well. He hasn't bought any of his Green Goblin or his Black Widow, so he hasn't done any of his attacks yet. So like I said, Shawn is kind of holding back, I think, at this point to be a little more in a control mode. So you may be wondering, gee, why is he taking so long? He is going through a set of permutations in his mind based on what his opponent has already purchased and what his opponent has fielded. So this is the way you want to play. Always anticipate what your opponent may do or what they could do. Right now, Shawn is going through, and the options don't look too great, but we'll see what he... Okay, he's going to spend the 5, bringing in a Jinzo. So he used one of the generic energy as long as the 5 sidekicks are shot. How come he only spent 5 sidekicks? Okay, so he's fielded the Millennial Puzzle. Aha. Okay. Since we don't have an out of play mapped on the pad, those 6 dice sidekicks down there are out of play. So, and then any die he purchases, he is in play. So Jinzo's come out. He used the Halfling. There we go, right there. He's going to put Jinzo in the field. So he was able to purchase Jinzo, use the effect off of one of his character cards to roll a die that's in his use pile, and he rolled up a character. So now Jimmy is also suppressed, so the 2 masks that he currently has in his reserve pool, he'd have to be paying life in order to ramp with those, and he will. So he takes 2 for his first PXG. He's only going to do 2. So, well, how come he didn't do another one? Well, he's probably keeping back. There you go. So, he drew 3 out of his bag. He's starting his turn now. So I can't tell. Okay, all energy. So the Black Widow didn't come out.
Arthur? No, a team sheet.
Okay, Jimmy's going to keep the energy, and he comes up with... Okay, the Black Widow did come up there, so... Fields the Black Widow. Buys, that is a magic missile that he bought. I know you can't really tell on the camera, but that was a magic missile. Basic action. So what to do with the remaining amount of energy here. He's shut down by Jinzo, so you have to weigh the cost of paying 2 life to use a global against the value of using the global at this point in time. So. Okay, he did the blue eyes hit, so he takes 1 life, but it means he also can purchase character for less cost. So he purchased a Gavi, and Shawn used his Millennial Puzzle to KO Jinzo. Actually moves him to the use pile with that ability. So Jimmy attacks with Black Widow. Shawn spins down Jinzo to avoid taking 2 life, blocks with the Halfling Thief. Halfling's KO. Now Jinzo's removed for Shawn, so he's now back up to using globals. Okay. He draws the Millennial Puzzle again. Ah, very good roll. So Shawn got back his character complement with that roll. And still has the ability to do a ramp if he wants. He's going to reroll the sidekick to see if he can roll more masks. Got 1 more. So, good position here for Shawn. Not enough energy to buy a Hulk, and he doesn't have a lightning bolt to do the blue eyes trick. So. See what he does here. Shield field, and puzzle fields for free. About another Halfling Thief, so keeping his options open on that one. Have 1 in the spare there. Okay, Jimmy does not pay 2 life to use a global. So. All right. So Black Widow comes out again. Good pull. But doesn't roll up. I believe, yeah, doesn't roll. So I would say that whole roll is probably going to be a re-roll for maybe keep some of the bolts, but again, he is handicapped by the Jinzo that Shawn's fielded. Okay. Wide roll. What did he roll there? So, a lot of energy. He has 5 energy. So he's going to go ahead and KO his sidekick using the Blue Eyes Global. Allows him to buy Storm. Nice pull. So let's see who does probably attack. Can't really see the die faces, so he does have Shawn can spin down Halfling Thief. And will probably block, yep. So both a KO. So what Jimmy had to do was do something to neutralize Jinzo by Shawn, and really want to bring out Assassins. So he does have Psylocke and he does have Storm. Storm is probably the one that does the greater amount of damage there, because knockout, you take 2 life as well to your opponent. And with Psylocke, you have to have 3 a mask to field, or a energy to fielder, and 2 masks to KO characters. So you need more energy generation. Storm, you just have to roll her face. So Shawn, big energy roll here. Very interesting here what Shawn's going to do. So Storm's going to be coming into the bag here pretty soon. So Shawn has to be very acutely aware of that. And he is at 12 life, so he's getting in that red zone. So Storm hitting him for 4 damage would be pretty significant at this point. Be a third of his life remaining. Gabi now is in the rotation, fielding the Halfling Thief, and when he fields, can roll a die out of his use. Oh, Gabi comes up. So now Gabi gets fielded. No sidekick, so there's no damage. But let's see if Shawn attacks with him, because Gabi in the field is not the best place to be. And Jimmy's field is wide open for a hit. Adding up, I don't think he has enough for a kill. Jimmy has 11 life left. So there goes the Gabi. He'll do the distraction. So he takes 2 life. So it was either that or take a 5. I think it's a 1-5-5 face on there. It's hard to see with the camera angle, but I think it's 1-5-5. So here comes Jimmy's roll now. And his Gabi has come up. And also has some. So Shawn's got the Millennium Puzzle that he'll probably throw out there. Yep. Not a bad roll from Jimmy, so got some options, okay? Sidekick goes first, then the Widow. Gabi comes out, so 1 hit to Shawn. Now Shawn's at 11. Pretty close match as far as life. Which Jimmy wants to do. He'll buy another Widow. And he puts out his Widow. So it's probably going to force Shawn to turn down his Gabi. Yep. So that Gabi goes down to a 1-3. He'll block with the Halfling Thief. KOs the Thief. Shawn does his PXG. So he'll pull one more from the bag. All right. Okay, Halfling Thief comes up. So let's see if Shawn wants to try to pull that trick again where he purchases a character and then when he fields his Halfling Thief to roll that character, because that would be in his use pile. And then a 50-50 chance of fielding that character on this turn. Now if he's looking to do that with a Gobby, he may want to keep the sidekicks. But if he's energy deficient, he may want to roll the sidekicks to get more energy. So see what's going through his mind right now. He's thinking about which way to go here. Him keeping the 3 energy, not that there's just mask and a question mark, but that's also representing buy, something to purchase. So he's probably looking at a 3 purchase or 2 purchase cost character. Now Jimmy's going to have either a thin bag or no dice in his bag, so Storm could come out on this next pull by Jimmy. So okay, he's going to re-roll the Halfway Thief. Basically gets the same roll. So what to do? Okay. So he's going to buy Gobby outright. So when he fields the Halfwing Thief, there you go, he's going to roll the Gobby. 50-50 chance here. Ah, there we go. So now he has, is it? Oh, it's a 1, no energy to field him. See, that's where you wanted to have some energy kept back just in case. So 2 sidekicks go out. So nice try, but just missed it. So Shawn passes priority. And will not attack. So Jimmy pulls 2 dice. Okay, we'll see what happens. Oh, 3 dice. Oh, see if we can get a Storm out. But Jinzo. Okay. So, but let's see if he can field Jinzo in this roll. And Jinzo comes up, and the magic missile misses. Oh no, Jinzo's at a shield, sorry. Like I said, it's hard to see. That was HeroClix. There's a ton of HeroClix players here. Okay, what did Jimmy roll up? Let's see, he rolled a magic missile. Jinzo shot a blank here, so Jinzo missed. So fields the sidekick, provide another blocker. Okay. Magic missiles, but has to pay 2 life. So okay, Jimmy does do that, pays 2 life, and Shawn takes 2 life. So Shawn's now at 9, and Jimmy's at 7. So he spun down one of the 2 shields and used the other mask to buy a Psylocke, so another assassin in the bag. Pass priority to Shawn, who doesn't have anything to do any globals with. So, let's see if Jimmy decides to attack. Nope. So, Shawn's going to have 7 dice to roll. Oh no, sorry. He only had 1 die. He didn't use his PXG because he had no energy left. Okay. So Shawn is not in ramp right now. I would say at this stage in the game you want to preserve your ramp. So he's got 6 characters in the field now. He just put out a 7th. But what to spend? So he could probably buy another halfling thief if he wanted to, and that way gives him ability to do a ramp with the 1 other question mark. He could also buy a Black Widow. There we go. Pass priority over to Jimmy, who doesn't have anything to do with the shield, so turn's ended. Now there's a possibility that Storm can get pulled here. We'll see. Uh-oh, and no. So Shawn dodged another bullet there. But Storm will come out the next turn. So okay, another Widow is rolled. Decisions. So Jimmy fields the Widow. See if he buys another Widow. Put all 4 of them out there in rotation, right? And he does. So all 4 of his Black Widow's arenas have been purchased. So Shawn just used the Blue Eyes White Dragon Global to KO his Green Goblin, which is a very good tactic. Because Gobbies in the field don't help you. Now he's going to be able to roll him because those KO go to the prep area, and lo and behold, he rolled him. So with 3 sidekicks right now in the field, that's going to be a 3 damage. And the other Gobby came up. So he fields the Gobby, does 3 damage to Shawn, or to Jimmy. And see what Shawn decides to do. Let's see what Shawn wants to do here. He's going to go ahead and use Magic Missile. And go ahead and Millennial puzzles out his Gobby. So, and I think that's probably game. Game to Shawn. Good job. So, well, thank you for listening. And you know, you can see from some of the techniques Shawn does why he is a 2-time regional champion and going into the finals here. So we're getting ready to go ahead and qualify.